Good morning. It's Suzanne Toro, Mother Suzanne, at St. John's, Cornwall in New York, and today is Maundy Thursday in Holy Week. Maundy, the word Maundy, it's not Monday, Maundy, comes from the Latin word for command, and it refers to the theme for today, which is Jesus' command to love one another as I have loved you. And along with the disciples, we might very well ask, well, how do you love us, Lord? What does that look like? And then how are we supposed to love each other? What does that look like? And how do we live that out? And as if Jesus knew that they would need a little bit more clarification, he takes off his outer garment and he ties a towel around his feet, and then he takes a basin and he fills it with water, and he goes and he kneels before each of them, and he washes their feet and dries their feet, their dusty feet with the towel. So love is something that's received, and it's something that is then acted upon. They had received his love, and then he wanted to show them what happens when that love is expressed. It's expressed in action. And it's interesting that when he gets to Peter, Peter says, no, you may not wash my feet because I'm not worthy. Peter thinks he's being humble. I'm not good enough. You can't wash my feet, Lord. And Jesus says to him, if you don't let me wash your feet, you have no part in me. And it's interesting because we do that, don't we? Oh, I'm not good enough. I can't possibly let you do that. But Jesus shows that humility is not about saying you're not good enough. Humility actually allows us to receive whether we think we should be receiving or not. And then once that has happened, once we have received God's love, God's grace, God's forgiveness, that does something. That will naturally bring us to a kneeling position if we really take it in and we really let it just wash over us. And we will kneel and we will do as he did. We will reach out and we will serve others. Maundy Thursday is also the day in which we celebrate the institution of the Eucharist, when Jesus gave the bread as his body and the blood as his wine, and said, continue this in me. And it's interesting because Jesus takes something common, again in this theme of love, takes something common like bread, something that's everyday, it's ubiquitous, and he blesses it. And he turns it into life and strength and the ability to be in union with him, attached to him, to be part of him, to live with him in his life. So he takes and he blesses, and then out of love, he breaks. He allows himself to be broken. You know, before he allows himself to be betrayed and handed over to the Romans, in this act he first hands himself over to the disciples and to us. Because unless you break it, you can't share it. And it's a great metaphor, as well as being literally true, but it's also a great metaphor for the way we live our lives, that we come before, we're given our lives by God. God blesses our lives. And then when we are broken open, for whatever reason and in whatever way, We become something through that blessing, through that creation in love. We become something that can be given away to others for their blessing, for their good. So, Maundy, Thursday, the command, love one another as I have loved you, has really two parts to it. There is the receiving of the love of our God. We don't get to stand back and go, oh, I'm too much of a sinner. God can't really love me that much. I don't love me that much. So how could God love me that much? We have to just put that aside. Say no to that. Just like Jesus said no to Peter when Peter tried to stop him. So we have to receive it and then let it sink in. And what will happen is that it can flow back out into action, into loving, putting love into action in the world, God's love into action in the world. So this day, the washing of feet, the finding ways to serve, the institution of the Eucharist, this is all about love. And think about it, it's really important that it's all about love today because it's the foundation upon which everything else is about to happen. This day, we also remember that Jesus went out to the garden. He was arrested. He was abandoned by all of his friends who are now eating with him at the table. He is tortured. And then he is hung on a cross to die. This is what comes next. And love is the foundation he lays down for them to be able to get through this, to be able to go with him, to know that, to be able to remember that when this happens and they are so distraught and they don't know what's happened and the world just comes crashing down around them, that he will come back. He will come back even when they forget that he told them he would do just that. And he will be with them. And he's going to do something amazing. That amazing thing we're going to hold off and wait till Sunday. We've got 3 more days, in which to stay in this place when we walk with Jesus through all that he experienced. And whatever you're experiencing right now, and I know a lot of you are really suffering. Some of you are very frightened. Many of us, I think all of us, are very, very sad. I keep seeing the loss of people that I love and care about every single day. And I say to us, as Jesus says to all of us, hold on to the love. Love one another as I have loved you. Hang on to the fact that you are loved. You don't have to feel like you're worthy. You don't have to justify it. It's all grace. God looks at every part of us and goes, I love you. Hang on to that. And then love others. And let that be the foundation upon which everything that happens, that is our way through. And it is the road. It is the road to which we will walk these hard, hard, dark days to our glorious end on Sunday. God bless you, whatever is happening in your lives right now. Remember, hang on to how much God loves you. And that out of that love, God's asking us all to love one another. And that's how people will know that we are Christians. They will know that we are Christians by our love. May you know how deeply you are loved this day, and may God show you ways to love others. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.